vegan author. Whether you're a vegan, a vegetarian, or just a dog or cat lover, you need to be aware about the animal testing that goes on around the world in the name of science and medicine and beauty. So today I'm talking about vivisection, which is you might say, the activist's name for animal testing. Now, I bet you got into an absolute uproar when you heard that the Japanese in 2018 killed over 300 minke whales and 50 other whales in the Antarctic in a protected area, all under their scientific program, which still sees the whale meat going on sale. So under the guise of scientific research, how would you feel if I told you that an estimated 26 million animals die every year in the USA alone? They actually test on over 100 million. And don't think other countries don't test. They do. Over here in New Zealand we have 300,000 die. There's 6 million die in Australia. UK, Europe, China, they all test. I just couldn't find exactly how many died. So these tests are to develop medical treatments, determine the toxicity of medications, and then there are tests to check to see if a product is going to be safe for humans. The animals that get tested on are monkeys, dogs, rabbits, rats and mice, but also pigs and cows, deer, fish and birds and guinea pigs. You know, really, it's like no animal is actually exempt. In most countries, animal testing is mandatory before any product is let loose on the public. Now, some countries have banned cosmetic testing, but they still test for medical and science purposes. Like here in New Zealand, we don't do cosmetic testing. But if a New Zealand company wants to export to China, they have to prove that the product has been tested on animals. It's a little minefield. In the UK, there is a call for the government to stop testing on primates. It serves little value and causes immense suffering. In fact, a study done in 2016 showed that the cruel experiments done on monkeys' brains were totally useless, as they were flawed and they served little value. And why? Because there are some rather important differences between a monkey brain and a human brain. Sadly, as of this date, the UK government refuses to even address that practice at all. Now, laboratories, these are not good places for any animal. They're typically sterile, indoor environments where the animals are kept in cages, and they're usually in cages on their own, so they're without the friendship of others. Some experiments use the 50-50 rule, which means that 50% of the animals are given as much of the substance as is necessary to get them to die or close to death, and the other 50% are given enough to see if there is a reaction. Animals are force-fed, forced to breathe toxic substances. They may have food and water deprivation, prolonged periods of physical restraint, infliction of burns and other wounds to study the healing process, the infliction of pain to study its effect and remedies, injected with toxic substances, given diseases, and when the experiments end, they're killed by carbon dioxide asphyxiation, getting their neck broken, decapitation, or any other means. The Drey's eye test in particular is really nasty. It's used by cosmetic companies and evaluates irritation caused by shampoos and other products. Now, it involves rabbits being put into stocks with their eyelids sometimes held open by clips so they can't blink away the products being tested. And then once the injuries are recorded, the rabbit is killed. If you've ever had a bit of shampoo in your eye, you'll know that it's not nice. Well, the next time it happens, remember that a rabbit has had the prototype formula in its eyes, so you don't get the stinging or burning sensation. News flash. There are other ways to test. Studying cell cultures in a petri dish actually can produce more relevant results because human cells are used. Then there's microdosing, which is used on human volunteers. It's the administration of doses too small to cause adverse reactions. The dose is given, then the blood is analysed. Then there is also artificial human skin, and it's available commercially. It's made from sheets of human skin cells grown in test tubes, and again can produce results far superior than testing the chemicals on animal skins. Microfluidic chips. These are being developed right now, and they're quite a long way into the development. These are lined with human cells and recreate the functions of human organs. Computer models like virtual reconstructions of human molecular structures. These can predict the toxicity of substances without the invasive experiments on animals. Animals actually make very poor test subjects because they're different to humans. And I'll give you just one example of this. In the 1950s, the sleeping pill thalidomide was tested on animals prior to commercial release with no adverse effects. Thalidomide caused 10,000 babies to be born with severe deformities. So then they tested again on pregnant mice, rats, guinea pigs, cats and hamsters, and they did not get any birth defects unless the dose was administered at extremely high levels. Now, this is not a rare case. There are many other examples, some not too severe, but others that have resulted in thousands of deaths, human deaths I'm talking about, before being pulled from the market. Aside from the fact that vivisection is insanely cruel, there is no reason in this 21st century to be testing on animals. So please support the companies that don't do animal testing. And now it's time for the wee bonus fact. Again, not really a happy one. 400,000 animals die every year in the European Union, all in the name of Botox. And these poor little mice are not killed humanely. Not only are they terrified, but they die slowly of paralysis. They literally suffocate while being completely conscious. The EU has banned animal testing for cosmetics. Well, cosmetics only, but Botox doesn't fall under that category because it uses a needle and isn't applied to the skin. Now, seeing as Botox is predominantly used to reduce wrinkles for people to have a rejuvenated and youthful appearance, it should be classed as a cosmetic and therefore come under the ban. I've put a link below for a petition that's currently on for putting a stop to this Botox testing. That's it for today. Remember, have great food, make it whole plant food, and be compassionate to all animals, including humans. Bye for now.